All right, you can tell that the, shall we say, pronunciation difficult part of the program begins when I get to do the introductions instead of Roberta. Uh, Foresta Lumina at Parc de la Gorge de Coaticook in Quebec is the recipient of the AOA for Interactive Attraction on a Limited Budget. Here to tell us about it are Caroline Sage, General Manager of Coaticook, and Marie Belzy, Multimedia Director at Moment Factory.
Hello, everyone. Before I begin, I would like to mention that I'm currently learning to speak in English. It's not my first language, and it's the reason I have a paper. And I'm very nervous. It's the reason that I need this. So I would like to apologize in advance if I say anything hard. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, let me tell you about the Parc de la Gorge and where is it. 2,585 miles separate Coaticook, that's Anaheim. It's not too far. Coaticook is located in Canada, more specifically in Quebec, and it's around 2 hours away from Montreal in the Eastern Township. Coaticook is a charming town of 8,000 people and bordering the states by New Hampshire and Vermont. The Parc de la Gorge of Coaticook is created in 1974 and manages land and infrastructure, okay, you understand? Owned by the town of Coaticook. The park offers many activities year-round, but it's a small team. We are only 8 permanent employees and who are joined by 65 seasonal workers during the extended summer season. Last year, the Parc de la Gorge welcomed more than 325,000 visitors from around the world. It's the activities. A great variety of activities are waiting for visitors and tourists, whether it's hiking, biking trail, a walk on the suspended bridge is the more longest in the North America, horse riding, camping, swimming, and additional the too many winters activities. Now, we will enter the wonderful world of Foresta Lumina. Foresta Lumina is an illuminated night walk traft to the forest. Personally, one of my favorite attractions inside the whole park because it brings back all child of youth. It was believed that fairies listen to the wish of those who let themselves be swept away by the mysteries of the forest in the Coaticook Gorge. The gorge was formed by a phenomenon that took place over a very long period of time during the last age some 50,000 years ago. So, in 2011, during a strategic planning exercise focused on the future of the park, we set the goal of creating an innovating project that will showcase the natural phenomenon of the gorge. We call Moment Factory and present it with a general idea and set objectives, including to develop a tourist product offered in evening to increase the number of overnight stay and maximize economic benefits, to create new activities, to generate fresh enthusiasm for visitors who have visited the park once, twice, and many times before, to increase the number of hikers, and to innovate using a new technology. The main challenge we have overcome as managers, first and foremost, the time frame. We have only 10 months. I imagine you will all agree. Time is our worst enemy when developing a new project, especially with so much creativity. Creativity involved as several factors come into play. A major challenge was designing a hiking trail for use at night, on which killers are looking everywhere, but not in the ground. Being a small team too. We only 5% at this time. The same person was responsible for finding funding, content, and setting. Another in charge is infrastructure, equipment, and nature. And the other main challenge is preserving the natural heritage. Sorry. As one of our missions is to protect nature, and we want to highlight all at the night. This required the installation for electric panels, cables everywhere, strobe light in the trees, all without diminishing everywhere, diminishing anything, and ensuring that everything was properly covered up so that daytime visitors could still appreciate the site's beauty. We had to transform the technology's appearance to make it blend perfectly into the new environment. Finally, we need a structured equipment that will be vandalism-proof and could stand up to the mother's nature. Now, it's time to meet Foresta Lumina.
You just see. Do you hear me? Okay. Feel like a rock star. Okay, so I'm Marie Bézil from Moment Factory. You just seen an extract of our dear show that we love, Foresta Lumina. So years ago, Caroline came to us to ask us for something, an entertainment at night to retain people. And so we went on a first visit at the Parc de la Gorge. And we were struck, obviously, by the spectacular surroundings. I mean, this is a place where you go walk during the day, and it's already beautiful. Trees, then when you go the river bank, the gorge, this is just a natural splendor. So we were very much inspired to work in that forest. It was for us, a new canvas. We are more used to work in cities, in museums, in black boxes, but way more with architectural structure. Now we had this kind of natural canvas. It was very exciting for the whole creative team to play with that. The forest is already filled with magic. I mean, just crack a little match in the deep forest at night, and there's already something magical about it. So imagine you can bring some music, imagine you can bring some light. Everything, I mean, from your imagination can come alive. So there was a lot of potential with this new canvas. And the way I'm going to talk to you more about the way we wrote the experience, which was a very special way we did it. Because when we first visit the place, every single we discovered a different zone of the path that were kind of evocating different emotions. And I'd say that the emotional arc of the show was there before anything else. It was visiting the forest. For example, the first space was very welcoming. Big trees, feel like a hall of a hotel or something, comfortable, feel good. So we thought, okay, this is, a place where people are gonna learn about, are gonna, like foreign, fête foraine, like, welcoming, kind of feel good kind of place. And then we walked through the forest was closing a bit on us. And so we're like, oh, this is a place where suspense and kind of curiosity is gonna emerge. Then we cross this amazing bridge, which is, by the way, the longest suspended bridge in America, in Coaticook. So the suspended bridge between the two sides of the river was really bringing a lot of suspense. So we could see already kind of an emotional arc. And so we thought, okay, this is a good duration of a path. There's, the show is already there. Let's make it, happen. Then, so basically, we're talking about a 2.5 kilometer of a trail. The time to visit it can go from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. So the other challenge is that people are free to walk at their own pace. So telling a story in that setting is also a challenge. We obviously wanted to be very immersive because walking the forest is already an immersive experience. And we were open to use all kind of media so that, but in a way that would be really, really, hidden so that you don't feel the technology, but the magic happen in front of your eyes. And it would be seasonal, but to be honest, like, it would be, a little part of spring, summer, and a little part of fall, which is basically hardcore winter, like for, the US. I mean, fall can be really harsh and spring can be really harsh in Quebec. So all the equipment had to pass the test of those 3 seasons. So let's talk a bit about the inspiration. What we wanted to do was something that could not exist anywhere else, that would be really specific to Coaticook, to this forest, to this setting. So we went and researched into, all the legend and the stories of the region, and then kind of open to the legends and the stories of the forest in general, which was really interesting to find out. Fairies, for example, are present in many different legends across the world. It could be European, could be African. There's, the fairies. There's something that human brings, is everywhere. So we thought that would be interesting. The devil. Seeing as a gentleman in the province of Quebec, the devil is a big part of the folklore. We know the Catholic heritage kind of used the devil a lot to have the people, act a certain way. So there's a lot of legend using, this gentleman coming out of the forest is going to take away the most beautiful girl if she dances on Saturday night. She should go home and cook for her husband. Then there was native, obviously, on those territories way before. So it was interesting to look into their legends. There was, for example, a version of the Wendigo, which was called the Jiwakwa, a man turned giant at night that craved for human flesh. So I really like that kind of, kind of little twist. I can bring some good emotion there. We found there's an amazing tree that was part of the path that had all kind of little roots. And we're thinking, what if this tree comes alive at night? The importance of the water and the flood and all the season in Coaticook, they are facing that every year and still now kind of fighting against Mother Nature. That can be really difficult with the river coming out of the bed and all this stuff. So we thought that the thunder would be a natural character in the place. So we decided, and when we walked, there was 7 zones. So we thought that was quite a nice coincidence, this magic number, 7. So we decided on designing 7 characters. So because people would be free to walk at their own pace in the forest, we decided instead of creating like a typical narrative, just create like more of a world. So we would inhabit those woods by 7 magical characters, and people would kind of encounter them as they walk through the forest. So there was the tree that came alive with magic, with a video projection, the devil that appeared in different videos, projection. There was the thunder that appeared with neons, the fairies that took shape of little LED lights, the gate that separate the part of the humans to the part of the imaginations, and the creature, which was inspired from the Wendigo, and the forest spirit that kind of guides this whole ecosystem and make sure there's peace in there. So to make it so that people could identify with this world, we throw in there a woman and that looked that she was kind of coming of another time, which is, could be the 40s, could be the 60s. So we wanted this kind of curious and courageous woman that, is kind of a clin d'oeil to the matriarchal heritage in the province of Quebec. So the process was really interesting. As I was writing the stories, those characters, we were testing out with a team, because we have really multifaceted kind of teams at Moment Factories. So as I was writing, I was meeting with the lighting designers, with the scenographer, to kind of, they were bringing solutions to illustrate those characters. So that's why we decided the fairies, they would be little LED lights. That was the way the fairy would appear. So lighting was very important. It's obviously a kind of a cheapest media than video, because you don't have to design so much of content, but there's something really emotional about lighting. It's photons, it throws you on the skin. There's something physical about it that brings a lot of emotion. We love it. So the thunder becomes neons, the gate is lighting and fog. There was video projection, so there was a zone where we could develop a little bit more the narrative. We did mapping projection on the tree, which the kids were really touching. They thought it was really alive, so that was cool. And the magic power of print, die-cut boards, RGB print, black light print. It was 5 years ago, and I came first time to Disneyland and visit the Sleeping Beauty castle. I thought, the power of good painting, amazing designs, and a few boards and paint. That's always going to be efficient, very low cost. And there were some crazy scientists too at Moment Factory that played with blacklight paint. The challenge was again that it wouldn't show during the day. It would look all natural, no white paint. The rocks would stay their natural color, and then also that it would, be harmful to the environment. And on this, just finishing maybe the conception, talk about the fact that we decided there would be no voiceover. It was really important for Caroline and the Parc to be able to invite everybody to the experience. So no English, no French, no words. I really like this approach also because it gives kind of a freedom of interpretation to the viewer. So that was something that was quite nice about the experience. When you finish on the riverbank and you feel like, the sky full of stars kind of fell on the ground and you're surrounded by those lights of little fairies, you can have a moment to yourself and kind of interpret your way how you saw the experience. So we had a lot of testimony. That's the experience, and we do many shows at Moment Factory. That's the one we got the more feedback and the more kind of really intimate feedback about, families reconnecting and experience that transform people. So the response was astonishing. It surprised us, and Caroline's going to talk a bit more about the facts. So you'll see numbers, but I think people want to play outside and want to dream. So that's a good news.
And rapidly, the fact, before our turnout for such a small region, only for the first season, it's only 60 days open, and 72,000 visitors visit for only Foresta Lumina during the first season. And the second season, it's 80 nights, 145 people did so the following season, the second season. And overall, the park, however, number of visitors has skyrocketed by 65% for the increase the visitors, and the sales have increased by 70%. The Foresta Lumina effect has touched the whole region as business in the service industry. I've experienced two extraordinary seasons. The occupancy rate in the accommodation sector has increased by 100%, and restaurant sales figures have grown by 200%. On a side note, during the first season, some restaurants had to close early because they didn't have any food left for clients. This just goes to show how the effect surprised the whole region and how it's had a massive impact on its economy. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's just amazing to see how art, because I think it's a really, it's a piece of art in some way, and entertainment can transform an economy in a region. That was really astonishing for us. So we have 6 minutes, 52 seconds for questions.
And if you come to Quebec, it's the Foresta Lumina you have to visit. Sure.
If you've reached capacity, assuming that you have, what are your plans for expanding beyond that?
Vu qu'on est comme en max la capacité, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire pour faire l'ouvrir plus longtemps?
Yeah, because we
could extend the season.
Extend the day, the night too.
This opening season.
Because the product has opened when it's night. And during June or July, we open to 9 o'clock. But we can entrance, you see if you don't understand, we can entrance 350 persons by 30 minutes. And each 30 minutes, we open the door to entrance 350 persons. But if we have so much people, we can open the 30 minutes. And during the summer, during July, we close at 3 hours 30, and there is a 4,000 visitors for on one night. Yeah.
So following also the sunset through the season, we can, start earlier in June and then, earlier in the summer.
And we have 20 kilometers of hiking trail, and we can more longest.
Yeah. Add zones.
Christopher Stapleton, Virtual World Society. It's a wonderful, beautiful work of art. Amazing results. And you wonder, how can you improve upon nature? And you've done it all. As an artist myself, and the artists kind of convincing developers, operators, money people, etc., that truly if you fulfill the vision of the artist, you will reach an audience, and that's important, but that's not an easy path. How did you do it? What were the obstacles? How do you pass through that and so successfully?
I think the first thing is to say that Caroline and her team were very, very visionary, and from the get-go, they wanted they gave us their confidence into being a bit crazy. So we discovered they were as crazy as we were, so it was the perfect team. So on our side, Moment Factory, it was a whole new experience, but of course we came with kind of a background that were encouraging the association. I think this decider were finding it interesting, this idea that we were working on a new canvas. But I'm totally on with you, which is so amazing to see that we had so much freedom here of creation, and the result, I think it's all about, if you create for the people, if you create for the experience, you're going to get a response. But maybe, Caro, how did you convince people to give you money?
I'm not the only one. It's crazy, I think so. It's easy because when it's easy, but it's tough too. When we go to knock up the doors government, it's everybody's meet is say, wow, it's a good project. Don't say at nobody, because nobody want to pick up the idea and do this before us. But it's very easy because it's innovating project, and everybody say, wow. But in the plan d'affaires en anglais, c'est business plan. Okay, nice. Business plans. We think we have only 7,000 people for the first year, and we have
they planned 82,000. So yeah. They planned for 7,000 people for the first summer, and there was 82,000. So they actually had to adjust with the ticketing and all the. Yeah.
The logistic is it's not the same, eh?
Hi. I just wanted to say what a wonderful concept, and it looks like it's really well executed. So thank you for bringing this to
Thank
the world.
you so much.
My question was, are there any challenges that you've encountered with the operation of this? Because I can imagine with the fact that you're outdoors in nature, the trees change with the seasons, and maybe the guests mess with the rocks that you've painted or anything. Or have you designed around that? Or
yeah. Oh, so sorry, feedback. So we designed in thinking that it would be something that would be, install and disinstall. So it was a really important part of the thing, and that it would resist the nature. But that being said, we found an amazing team of technicians that were from the region, and that really took the project by heart and kind of worked with us at the last phase of the project, so that project became theirs too. And so they were there to verify that everything was staying.
We have 7 persons in the spring to put the equipment all in the park, and it's around 6 or 7 weeks, and it's the same thing at the fall.
I think one important point. Go ahead. I think the important point, for Moment Factory, was the idea of working with people from the region, and that was also in the designing phase when we had, need sculpture of branch and stuff like that. We first looked in the region, because then it's everybody's project, and everybody take it so much by heart that the park is their project, the team, that the technician is their project, so everybody makes sure that it looks stunning every night.
And to put the light or the speaker on the tree, we invent the thing who grow with the tree. And each season we can adjust because the tree is growing.
Thank you very much, Carolyn and Marie. I know you had more questions.